going on, vinyl community? Welcome to another video with the record spinner, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about what I use to store my albums in terms of inner and outer sleeves. There are a lot of options out there that people can select when it comes to storing their vinyl, so in this video I'm just going to be talking about what I personally use. We'll start off first for the outer sleeves for my main LPs, my 12-inch records. There's two types of outer sleeves that I use. The first type is made by a company called Square Deal Recordings and Supplies. Their dimensions are 12 3/4 by 12.5 inches, and you can get a pack of 100 of these on Amazon. And I find that these work very well for albums, for like single albums, no gatefolds, just the sleeve, the record, possible insert. There's a little bit of extra room in it, just a little bit, you know, so it's not completely snug. Gets the job done very nicely. Now, the second type that I use is made by a company called Vinyl Style, and their dimensions are 12 3/4 by 12 3/4. Now, I feel that these work very well for single albums with gatefolds, or double albums with gatefolds, or double albums in general that just come in a basic sleeve. Kind of snug, just a little bit of extra room. I don't know if you can pick that up in the camera, but these work very nicely as well. And I was also lucky enough to get away with using these for albums, for 3 LP sets, or albums with 3 gatefolds. Snug in this kind of format, but it works very well. And then we get to box sets. Now, this is when it gets very tricky, because when it comes to the surface of the box, you're looking at probably 12 inches and about a half inch, 3/4, whatever. But it's all mainly down to how thick the spines are. So I have a few examples that I'll show you. First is my debut Rush box set. The spine kind of measures at about an inch or just a tad bit less, and you can actually buy box set sleeves from a seller on eBay called Sleevey Wonder. Really recommend him because he sells box set sleeves both individually and in bulk. So if you have just maybe a few box sets and you don't want to buy like a pack of 10, 20, whatever, he's able to hook you up. Or if you have a lot, you can buy in bulk and it gets the job done nicely. So this is a slightly kind of smaller dimensions sleeve that I use for the Rush set. And then I also have a slightly bigger one that I use to sleeve up my Led Zeppelin Song Remains the Same box. This is just a little over about 1.5 inches, and it works very well as well. And it's actually resealable as well, so you can kind of just flatten that out and it seals it up very, very nicely. And then we're going to get into inner sleeves. Now, before I get into the types of inner sleeves that I use, there's the rare occasion that I get away with not having to swap out inner sleeves. If a record that I get brand new already comes with a nice poly-lined inner sleeve, then I don't have to worry about it. But in most cases where there's a printed inner sleeve, or those dreaded, paper sleeves, then I have to swap those out and use the type of inner sleeves that I use. Now, the most reputable inner sleeves that a lot of collectors use is the type that's manufactured by Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, and they are excellent top quality audiophile inner sleeves. I have several records, most notably the Jimi Hendrix reissues and the Rush reissues that use those type of sleeves, and they are very, very nice top audiophile quality. But of course, it's all down to price. You can get a pack of 50 of them for about 20 bucks, which is good on average. But I got a pack of 50 of these disc keeper sleeves for 15 bucks. They're not similar to the MoFi sleeves, but they are anti-static, and there's no scuffs whatsoever. These work very nicely. And I also went the same route for my 7 inches as well. And I also forgot to mention the outer sleeves that I use for my 7 inches. I use a type that is manufactured by a company called BCW. They mainly manufacture protective sleeves for records, photography, art, and whatnot. You can get a pack of 100 of these for maybe like $5 to $7 on Amazon, somewhere around that price range, and they work very nicely as well. isn't snug at all. There's a little bit of extra room in the 7-inch sleeve, so it's not completely tight. But for some 7 inches, like my Iron Maiden ones, I kind of have to store them sideways because this edge is slightly longer than the edge of the sleeve itself if the flap is opening up. So I just store them like this, and it works very well. So anyways, that is what I use to store my records in terms of inner and outer sleeves. What do you guys use? I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video and thought it was informative, please like it and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video, and most importantly, keep the record spinning.